It's your boy Ringo, back again with another video. You already done know what it is. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. What we're going to do is take a stroll and talk about something that pretty much everybody can relate to. And that pretty much is raising children. A lot of people don't understand that when you live in a certain environment, right? A lot of times children, they adapt to the neighborhoods, they adapt to communities, and what happens is they become so institutionalized in that system that when you leave, it's difficult for them to pretty much make the necessary changes, if that makes sense, right? So, case in point, we moved to North Carolina, as you can see, and I think that is my wife, right? So now, the children, for them, I want to talk about their experience. Because maybe if I talk about their experience, you'll be able to understand things in your own walk, in your own life.
They can relate.
They could what?
Relate.
Okay. They could relate to the situation. Now, throughout this video, you're not just going to hear from me, right?
Right.
All right. So they're going to hear from you too. Because a lot of times, I'm basically trying to break her into the whole social media thing. Because with her, it's like being afraid of cameras and all this other stuff. And that's a no-no if you're working with me, right? So now, let's break down a couple of things. Number one, children become homesick. They deal with certain issues in terms of making new friends. So what I want to talk about is the things my kids dealt with and experienced while in North Carolina. So that being said, let's talk about what took place today.
Yeah.
Right? Today, you know, because we got the kids situated with school, right?
This is basically their second day of school.
Second day of school.
The first day was okay. Mm-hmm. They had a little meltdown, withdrawals from their previous school.
Right.
But today, it was a total wreck.
A disaster.
A disaster between the two children. We have three in all in one school, but the two out of the three, wow.
Go ahead, keep talking.
The two out of the three had a meltdown.
All right, let me take the lead now. Mm-hmm. Pretty much what happened was this. One of the daughters, first of all, it was like this. I was supposed to do some content, right? And what happened was,
you received a phone call?
I got a phone call, and I thought it was some other company or something that was calling me to do some sort of business or something like that. And it was actually the school. And the person on the other end, I believe it was the principal, right?
Yeah, it was the principal.
It was the principal. And he was like, yeah, the child had a meltdown and basically crashed out.
She ran out of class.
Ran out of class, started acting up.
Wrote a couple of words on the paper.
Wrote some ungodly words.
Yeah.
Let's just say it like that. Some ungodly words she wrote on a paper. And pretty much, I was busy. I was busy doing what I got to do. But I had to stop everything. I had to stop what I was doing to come down to the school with my wife. Because when you're in a new location and you're doing your thing, what happens is sometimes you get so caught up in what you got to do that you forget you have other responsibilities.
Right.
And the thing is, the children are more important than the videos, or the children's situation is more important than what I'm currently trying to do at that time in the morning. So I said, you know what? I know I'm busy. I know I got a schedule. I got things that I got to do. Instead of doing all of that stuff, let me head on down to the school with my wife to take care of this business. And when we got down there, it was like a little disaster zone, because one of the children, like I said, she's going through her withdrawals. She's sad.
She says
Heartbroken.
Yeah, everyone's looking at her.
And she's crying about everybody's looking at her. But the thing is, it's not that everybody's looking at her. It's not that. She just feels that they are. And the reason why they are looking at her is because she's crying. She's making a scene. So what I'm trying to say here is this, right? Especially for a lot of you guys, because a lot of times men are typically outdoors working
Right.
and doing what they do, and they would leave the woman to go do all the work with the kids. In other words, let mom go up there and handle this and handle that, not realizing that the children need both of the parents there.
Yeah, today was a need to have both of us there.
It was a difficult situation,
I
because
think if I was there by myself, it would have been, whew.
it would
They
have been
needed
what?
their dad.
Explain why.
They needed their dad. It would have been a disaster. I mean, they would have listened to me, but it would have taken longer.
Basically, what she's trying to say is this. A lot of times, you ladies, you can go and try to handle these kids and do what you need to do. And the thing is, they need to see the father there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, children act up because of various reasons. It's not just because they want things done their way. It could be a situation where they are wanting something. Maybe they want to see the father more. Maybe, now you might say, but why would they want to see the father more? Aren't you there? Yeah, I'm here. But my point is, you don't know what really is going on. We're trying to get to the bottom line of it. Mm-hmm. Now, my youngest daughter, she wrote down a lot of things. She drew a picture of herself with her heart broken, and she said she missed her old school. She missed her friends. She's sad. So there's a lot of...
She's shy.
She's shy. And the thing is, she's pretty smart. She gets along with everybody, but it's a new environment.
And that's expected.
Yeah, it is.
That's expected.
It's expected. But what I wanted to mainly do is
Show
support. In other words, it's not just about me and what I'm doing. Because at first, my wife was going to the school to take care of whatever she got to take care of. And I stopped her and said, hold on, wait a minute. Let me go get dressed, do what I got to do, and come on down there with you. Because if they see me too, it shows a different side now, right?
And the school
not
will
only
actually
that,
see dad involved.
right. Because that's another thing. A lot of times, especially in the Black community, a lot of times you ladies are always at these school meetings. You're always there, and the father's never around. He's never there. And what that does, it make the teachers look at you as a woman, and they start questioning, like, where's the dad?
And that's why the children act up.
And that's why the children be acting up, because it's like, where's the dad at? What is going on? What's really happening here? Mm-hmm. So it's just something you got to all think about and consider when it comes to dealing with children, especially when you relocate and move to a different environment. It could be stressful.
Yeah.
It's not just stress on you. It's stress on children too. Because you have to remember, they got to make a whole new set of friends, right? They're nervous. They're concerned about making mistakes. And with one of the child, right? I'm not gonna mention names, right? It's 3 of them that went into the school. The elder, she's doing well,
Yep.
right? Actually, the school thought she was gonna be a problem. They thought that because she wasn't happy when they were doing what is that called? The tour?
Yeah, the tour when we first arrived
Right.
in early June.
Explain the story. You gotta
When we
explain
first
it.
arrived in early June for the tour, just to see the environment of the school,
Right.
that particular child, she wasn't excited. The other 2 were. So the principal told me and my husband today, he was expecting that particular child, the eldest one, to act out,
Right. But she didn't.
but she didn't.
As soon as she walked into the classroom, she was like, hey to everybody, and basically introduced herself. So it's
She broke
like,
the ice one time.
right. So she pretty much, she cracked the ice right away, is what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of times when you are in a new environment, you get nervous. It's sort of like, I mean, we all felt that way. We all move certain places and you feel detached. You feel like you're like a fish out of water. So it's one of them type of situations, right? Now, what's crazy about this that I see is that I could tell that the school is a good school.
Yeah.
I could tell that the teachers actually care because there's a lot of things you learn, especially being that, we're new. We can see the way the school operate, that they do care about the kids.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to show is that I care, because first impression is very important. If you're having problems with your child or the school call and you as a parent don't show up, shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you, especially if you just move to a new location. You better be at that school. You fathers out there, if your baby mama call you and say, your son is having issues in school, I need for you to come and
You don't come.
come to the school with me just to show support. And you don't come to that school to show support, shame on you, man. Shame on you, bro. Because here's the thing. You might think you busy, you gotta go to work, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But what about your child?
Yeah, that child needs you.
Because here's the thing, that child could be struggling with something inside and you're not there. Like what kind of a parent are you? You don't know what that child is dealing with. Because again, a teacher can only do but so much.
That's true.
And they were doing their best. And it got to the point where all options was off the table. They had to call us and say, yo, this is what's going down. Child had a meltdown. We need for you guys to come through. They didn't say who to come through. They didn't even ask.
Right.
We asked, do you want us to come? My wife asked. You got to learn how to speak in. Tell your side of the story. Because that's what's very important.
They called me and I volunteered to say I'm going to come.
Right, because they never asked.
Yeah, they never asked.
But that's what they wanted. That's what I'm saying. They want to see how involved you are with your children. Because a lot of times, I'm going to tell you straight up and down, these schools, they won't tell you to come. Yep. They will see if you're taking the initiative to come.
And the man put down the phone real quick. He was like, okay.
Yeah, because that's what he wanted.
So you want me to come? And he said,
Walking
yeah.
down this way.
Okay.
They wanted us to pretty much come in, but they never said, we want you to come in, but that's what they wanted. But what the real goal is, if I can make my point, they want to see if you are an active parent. That's what they really want to see. Are you an active parent, or are you just someone who's waiting for the school to do everything?
Right.
Are you that kind of person? Are you just waiting for the teachers to do all the work? Or are you doing the work yourself?
When it's really
Which
you.
one?
When it's really you as the parent supposed to
Right.
be the teacher for your child, So when we got there, we problem solved. We found out what was the issue with them. And, they, in the end, they were good. Took them a little while.
It took more than a little while. We were there for a little bit because
about an hour and a half,
because what we had to do is we had to pretty much kind of counsel them a little bit, show that support, show them what what's really going on, what's important, that we're here to learn. You're here to learn. It's not that the kids are a problem. That's not the issue. The issue is they're going through the withdrawals of wanting to be in New York. And the thing is, out here is a whole different environment.
Schools can clearly see that. They know.
Right.
It's understandable to them, so they know exactly what's going on. So.
And that's the main thing. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is this. It's not just about our situation. It's about making you understand the importance of a two-parent home. See, what I'm trying to make you see is real life.
Yeah.
You understand? Real life, not acting, not social media. I'm talking about real life where you have kids and how the interactions between a mom and a father have a greater impact on a child, because if she would have went to the school by herself to handle that business, it wouldn't have turned out right. If I would have went there by myself, it wouldn't have turned out right.
Yeah.
You know why? Because guess what? They were concerned with where's mommy? Where's daddy? Where's this? Where's that? That's what they would have been concerned with. You understand? So as parents, you got to really be mindful of your involvement with your kids. You can't be the kind of person who, you are only there when things are going good. No.
Or just being one-sided.
Or
one-side parent.
Yeah, one-side parent thing where the father is pretty much non-existent. He's what do you call it, an absentee father?
Yeah.
You don't want to be an absentee father where your children don't even know you because you're never there when they're going through issues. Sometimes kids need a hug. Sometimes they need encouragement. Sometimes they need to see that you're taking time from what you do. Kids are not dumb. Kids can tell when you're true and when you're fake. But most of all, schools and teachers can tell when you're true or fake.
That's true.
Because they could look at you and know, like, wait a minute, this person don't look like they're really involved.
And see, if I would have went there by myself, I'm pretty sure they won't say anything, but they'll probably be like,
where's your husband?
Where's the husband?
There you go.
Or is the father present? They won't
Right.
say, but.
Because a lot of times, to be honest, they will, they're monitoring not only what the child goes through,
The parents.
but they're monitoring the interaction between the parents too. Because what that shows is an underlying issue of, okay, I see where the problem is. Look at how the father's yelling at the child.
Yeah.
Because like when your child is doing bad, right? A lot of times you want to discipline
And
them.
you're embarrassed.
Yeah, because you're embarrassed. Because typically when children are acting up, it's not nothing you're happy about.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could be embarrassing, but it's not really to be embarrassed about. If you're embarrassed, that means that you know you did something wrong, or you know you're not doing a good job, so you're worried about what people are saying.
Exactly.
Because kids are kids. So what is there to be embarrassed about? But what I'm trying to say is this.
Especially when she wrote those ungodly words.
She wrote some things, guys.
Because I felt some kind of way, but then I realized, hey.
She wrote some things.
She
wrote some things on paper that it's not good.
She used the N-word.
The N-word, F-word.
F-word.
Was the B word there?
No.
No? The N-word and the B word. It was on the paper. And the teacher was, the principal.
And the F-word, yeah.
Yeah. The principal pretty much was looking at it, and he showed me the paper. So when I saw the paper, I'm looking at the whole thing and I'm like, wow, this is what she's doing. We're gonna go that way.
Okay.
Right?
I was embarrassed.
Uh-huh.
I said I was embarrassed, but then I got over it.
I wasn't embarrassed with the whole thing.
Because I'm like,
I'm looking at the situation like I don't even really care. You know, all I know is I'm there to be supportive of what's going on, because I know that if I didn't show up, that would look bad on me. So all I'm saying is for you guys is you have to really take that time out to put back into your children. You know, I'm just keeping it real. The move to North Carolina was not easy.
no.
And when you're dealing with children, it ain't like you could just pack up, leave, come down here, and they're happy. No, they might be happy with where they live, but remember, leaving New York, they left all their friends.
Yeah, it's a big transition.
They left their friends, their teachers,
Everything
everything they knew for years.
Their home, the other previous
Right.
home.
It's like a fish out of water. And what that does to kids, it can really mess with them.
Yeah.
So,
You can't really expect them to change overnight.
yeah, it's not going to be that simple.
So,
For us adults, it might be one way.
Yeah, we can adjust.
We could pretty much adjust quickly, but kids, it can be very, very trying. So to get the phone call of, oh, your child's having a meltdown, she's on the floor, she's basically having a fit, you know, it's not something you want to see, but it's just something we deal with as parents. And
to me, it was expected.
yeah, it was expected, and it could have been bad if I didn't show up.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy that I did that, because I was literally ready to start putting in some work, get some content out there and do what I have to do. And you know, like how when you're all motivated and ready to do what you got to do, the phone call just came in and derailed everything.
Everything.
It just took me off my plan. So I'm like, you know what, it is what it is. Let's go take care of business. And that was just, that one problem was, how can I say, totally different from the other daughter. Because the other daughter, her situation is, she is concerned about people looking at her.
Actually, they both.
So they were both saying the same thing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, but here's the thing. My youngest, she wasn't really having a fit. She wasn't having a fit. She was more or less very emotional.
Yeah.
Very emotional, crying, you know, doing the most. Put it like that, right? She was crying, doing the most.
She's like, everyone is looking at me.
Right.
And she just kept emphasizing, everyone is looking at me.
Everyone is looking at her, and I kept trying to let her know, like, look, you got to calm down, because that's why they're looking. And they're not looking because she's new. Sometimes it's that they just want to be friends.
Yeah.
Or they want to get to know you. They want to see you. They want to say hi. They want to say something. So the other teachers was there, the assistant principal. We were just there talking, coaching her. Even her teacher tried his best to calm her down, because she kept crying. And it was just overwhelming, but you can't give up on your kids.
And sometimes children get irritable, you know, for any little thing. They could be hungry, tired.
She was like, I want to go home.
She want to go home.
I want lunch.
She want lunch.
And
Things
it's
like that. So
you have to know how to
comfort them.
And not necessarily get down on their level, but what I'm saying is you got to make priorities right.
I took her to the bathroom. I gave her some water.
Basically, she calmed down.
Yeah, she calmed down.
She calmed down, and we was kind of letting her know, look, what you need to do is break the ice. Go into the classroom and introduce yourself, right?
Yep.
And just say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm new here. And that's it. And just go sit down and do your work. So one of the assistant principal, she went into the classroom with her. She calmed down. And we ain't hear nothing since. No phone calls came in.
We waited a little bit.
Yeah, we waited about a good 20
20
minutes
minutes.
to see if she's gonna, change up.
The principal came back out. She said she's doing her work.
She says she's doing her work.
She didn't even look at her like when she was leaving the room. So like,
So,
she's fine.
so really all it is that she just needed that support system. So what that teaches me, and it should teach you as well, is your children need that support system to help them adjust. It's not just as simple as go to school, adjust on your own. Sometimes you got to help them to adjust. Sometimes you got to be there with them while they're adjusting,
Yep.
so that they can see you there, so they can know it's safe, it's okay. You get it? So this is very important for me as well as my wife, because what we see is a transition
That's right.
of that is a real life situation, Now my eldest daughter, that's a whole different ball game.
Wow.
Whole different ball game. We still working on her, because she don't even want to be in North Carolina,
Nope.
to be honest with you. And the thing is, it goes back to the environment they're brought up in.
And she's of age. She's
Yeah.
of that age where you can't
She's of that age where she really think she's grown and could do her own thing, and
mold her.
she's at that point where she feel independent. And you all been there when you were that age, 16 years old. Come on, y'all know what it is. When you were 16 years old, you wanted to do your own thing.
I believe if we were down here about 3-4 years ago,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
she would
If
adapt.
if we would have made the move about 5 years ago,
5 years.
it would have been better.
It was,
It would have been better, because what happens is when they get to a certain age, it's like they're institutionalized where they at.
yeah.
And it's difficult to break them free. Because, and this, what this taught me too? You could be a millionaire. You could be a millionaire,
The best
move out into the best community, best environment,
and be the best parent.
be the best parent in the world.
Give them everything.
Give them everything they want. But if your child or children is stuck mentally in the same environment, that environment will shape them for the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's true.
No matter how much money you got, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
You can have all the money.
Talking and
You could be doing everything right.
for all the religious folks out there.
You could be the best Christian. You could be the best father, the best mother. None of that stuff is going to pay off if children are in an environment that is shaping them. This is why, in my opinion, it's very important that as parents, you get your children into an environment where they can thrive, and do it while they're young.
Yeah.
Because when they get older, it's going to become even more difficult. And it's going to get to the point where it's like you're going to be fighting and going against the grain in order to make them make moves and make decisions, because we all made mistakes, right? We all made mistakes when we were younger. We did stupid things. We didn't want to listen to our parents. We were rebellious.
Don't act holier than thou.
We did all.
We've been there.
We've been there. All of you that are listening, you've been there. So all I'm saying is, I'm gonna go this way. All I'm saying is, as a parent, make sure you are there for your children from the heart. Make sure you're there. Make sure that you are a part of their struggles, a part of their growth, and you're not just there, but not there. An absentee parent. You don't want to be that type.
Yeah.
You want to be the type that show your children, because it's those little things that they're going to remember. They're going to be like, yeah, I remember when mommy came to the school. I remember when daddy came to the school. I remember this, I remember that. Those are the things they're going to remember. You see? So if there's anything I want you all to gain, is that that's a real life example of some of the issues during this transition in North Carolina. Again, the school is great. I'm gonna go that way. School is great. Teachers are cool. As long as I see that they love children, that's more on my mind, is that their teachers and the faculty and everything is good. That's what I'm more or less into. So it's all about making them feel safe. Making them feel safe so that they don't feel like an outcast. You don't want them feeling like that.
Yeah.
Right? So as we move forward, they're gonna adjust. They're gonna adjust perfectly. And they're gonna all make friends and do what they need to do.
And you think it's not about diversity?
No, it's not about that. That's another
Because
thing.
they're used to that.
In New York,
Yeah,
at the school where they went to, it was a multi-race school with white, black, Asian. Pretty much everybody was there.
But it was more predominantly white.
Right. So it's not like,
So,
okay,
yeah.
it's not like one of them things of, oh, she's more around white people, so that's why she's feeling a little weird.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. The issue is she's not in the same environment. So it's like starting over again. And my youngest, she's the type that she got to gravitate towards one or two people and be cool with them in order to really trust everybody, like.
Right.
And she
Everybody
haven't,
knows her, but
right, she haven't done it yet. But eventually that's gonna happen. Eventually she's gonna be able to, we're gonna go all the way down and then come back
around.
up and wrap it up.
okay.
Eventually she's gonna do that and she's gonna be good to go, right? But like I said, this situation is very important as parents. It's very important, man. You gotta be in the lives of your children. You gotta be in the lives of your children, man. It's so important. It's the most important thing you can do, is be in the lives of your children. Because if you're not gonna be there, they're gonna always remember you were not there.
Who was and
They're gonna remember the teachers more than the parent.
that's true.
They're gonna remember your teacher. So you gotta make those sacrifices, man. You gotta make those sacrifices.
As you should.
For the
you know,
kids.
for the
Well,
kids.
yeah, as you should, yes. As you should.
Can't rely on the teachers.
Because here's another
Depend
thing.
on the teachers.
A lot of times, and this is coming from the perspective of a New Yorker, right? We tend to send our kids to school and just like make the school do the work.
Yeah. That's absolutely true.
And it's sad. It's sad. It's like you have a lot of single mothers, they'll take their kids and just send them to school, go to school.
Get them out their ear.
And the kid is away, and now the kid is growing up all messed up and damaged, and you're wondering why your kid is damaged, why your kid is acting up. Why do children act up? You got to ask yourself this as a parent and wonder, your child is acting up because something's missing. Something is missing. It could be love and home. It could be things they need. It could be a friend they left behind. It could be the fact that, something's missing.
Listen.
And if you don't know what that is, you can cause that child a lot of stress, trauma, emotional damage, all sorts of issues. And you're wondering why they're acting up in school. It's a cry.
Yeah.
It's a cry for help. It's a cry for support, so you got to really take that into initiative, fam, and really think about that. That's not something to play with. You gotta really show that kind of love and acceptance, because it's very important. I'm gonna turn this way
Okay.
to the street, right?
Children need you.
Right. The children,
You're all they ever know.
the children need to know that you
Can keep
actually,
them safe
not just,
and
keep them safe. Go ahead, continue.
and keep them sound, and knowing that you're there to support them, uplift them, you care for them, you're there for them.
Right.
And if they don't see that, they act out.
Act out. There you go. Because we all act out when we was kids. The thing is, you know what I think is another problem with a lot of parents? When your children act out, you get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed when your kids act out. You gotta be calm,
Because you think you're doing something wrong.
because you don't want them to feel like, oh, they're going to be in trouble when they get home.
Thing, yeah.
That's one of the things we all were raised on. I was raised like that, where if my mom was upset and we felt we were going to get in trouble when we get home.
Yep.
So you don't want your children to feel like, oh, when I get home, my mom going to deal with me.
Tear they behind us.
You don't want them to feel like that. You really don't.
That's true.
You don't want them to feel like that.
And then they become scared of you.
Right. Now they scared.
They can't trust you.
Now they
They're
can't
not
trust
open
you.
up to you.
Right. You don't want that. You know?
So we just have to basically find out. You going to say?
Yeah.
Oh. We just basically have to find out what's going on in their little minds.
That's it.
Know? What's the problem? And try to help them to fix it.
Because they're good kids.
Yeah.
They're good kids. Right? They're all good kids. The only thing is making sure that they can transition and adjust in the new environment.
And they will.
That's the main thing. I give them about 1 week, probably like 1 week, and they should be able to adjust and be good to go. And once they start making friends in school, then you'll see the smiles come back and everything. Because like I said, it's a nice school, it's decent. There's a lot of kids there. And as long as they're in good hands, where you have good teachers that want to teach the children, I'm all for that. I like schools and teachers that care about the kids, you know?
If they're small, they will adjust.
Right.
I know they will adjust.
So I hope that this particular video actually make you all understand the importance of being involved. Don't neglect the time, what is needed. Every time we think about children, we think about financial need. Oh, they need money, they need this. You ladies out there that are always making a big deal out of money when it comes to raising children, y'all gotta stop that.
Yeah.
Because raising children is not just about how much money you got. It's about the emotional support. Emotional support. Being there for your children when they're going through difficulties. Can you do that?
And why is it that when the children are babies, right? Your kids are babies, we attend to them to the max, to the fullest. And as soon as they get to a certain age, you don't give them any type of, that same type of treatment. You understand? Like, children need all of that.
Yep.
Type of love, hugs, kisses.
That's right.
And we as parents sometimes, you know, with our busy lives, we stop all of that.
And that's bad. We got to bring back.
So continue up the kisses and the hugs. They want all of that. They need it.
And you have to know when to take things away.
True.
You can't spoil
Spoil 'em.
kids. You can't spoil kids, man. You can't spoil kids. I understand sometimes as parents, you want to give your kids the world because maybe you didn't have this and you didn't have that growing up. You don't want to be that parent.
Yeah.
You want to be the parent that is
Balance.
fair, but at the same time, you know how to discipline. You know how to say no when it's time to say no. Because if you let your kids have everything they want and you spoil them, they're going to be rotten. They're going to feel entitled. Because you have that a lot with a lot of kids, especially a lot of kids that come from a nice neighborhood, nice family.
Yeah.
They get everything they want. So now when it's time to work hard, they don't even know how to work hard.
Yeah.
Because the parents gave them everything. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
If you guys like these kind of videos, right? If this kind of video make you smile, hit the like button. If this kind of video make you say, you know what, I'm subscribing, I really like this, then let us know in the comments.
We're just keeping it real. Hey.
Let us know that you want to see more videos like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it is very important to us of what's going on with the kids. Very, very important. Because that's why I make these moves. That's why I relocated, because I'm concerned with their upbringing. And I'm like, look, if you don't make these sacrifices now, it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
it's going to be too late. And now you're going to be dealing with the headaches of life, of wondering, damn, why I didn't take the time to make moves for these girls, man, to put them in a better position.
Yeah, invest.
You know what I mean?
Invest more.
You have to
in
invest, basically invest in your kids.
Yeah.
Invest in your kids, guys. Invest in them, because if you don't do that, who will?
And you got to take them to the next level. See, sometimes we just think about ourselves, and we're not thinking about the children's growth. We're getting older, you know, and one day we're gonna have to leave this earth.
There you go.
And they're gonna be remained, and then they're not gonna have anything. You know, so
basically you got to impart in them values.
Yeah.
You got to impart in them values, and you have to invest in them in terms of investing into your children so that they can pick up the baton and go to the next level.
No.
And if you don't do that, you're setting them up for failure. You're setting them up for failure. Because one of the things that's lacking in today's day with parents, in my opinion, is that they really don't invest no time.
Yeah, it's the time. It's true.
It's like they don't invest no time in the kids at all.
Can you go straight? Oh.
It's like, nah, I'm pretty much wrapping up the show. They pretty much don't invest no time, and they don't take the moment to really understand their kids. They don't do that. So understand them, show them love, and do what they need to do. So I'm gonna sign out. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. It is what it is. Right?
And remember, there's no manual to children.
We out, y'all. Y'all take care. Peace.